Hey guys, my name is Becki. I am one half of the YouTube channel Becki and Chris, and I just launched my class with Skillshare all about finding your style in the edit. This is super important in today's super saturated world of social media. How do you set yourself apart from what everybody else is doing online? That's what we're going to talk about in the class, and here's a little preview. We're going to dive into music and sound design. There's a couple of different ways that you can use music to help drive a story. First is if you have a genre of music, picking different types of tracks that have different pacing will really help tell different emotions in a story. So for instance, something that's higher energy might mix with a more higher energy scene, like going somewhere or doing something that's really fun and exciting, versus having a slower song where maybe we need to slow it down a little bit. We're showing maybe a morning scene where we're just waking up, there's like a sunrise happening and it's a little bit more relaxing. You can use a bunch of different types of music in one genre to help pull the tone through a story, but then also give that audience their ups and downs with the emotions that you're kind of trying to get across in your video. The second thing you want to keep in mind when you're using music with your videos is that if you have dialogue, say if you're like vlogging or you're doing a tutorial and you have an underlying music track there, you want to make sure that that music track is not too loud and that it's not competing with your voiceover. There's nothing worse than when you turn on a YouTube video to try and learn something and the music track is so loud that you could barely focus or hear what the teacher is trying to teach. For YouTube, you want to make sure that your voice track is set to about -12 decibels and that your music track is at least -21 or lower. It's really important that the music that you're choosing for the video fits with the pacing of your edit and the vibe that you're trying to go for. We usually like to use chill hop type music on our channel for the majority of our videos because that's kind of like a part of our style and a part of our brand. But for the helicopter series that we talked about heading east, we used a lot of blues and rock tracks as we mentioned in that mood board section of this class. We're gonna look at this example from a section of episode 5 of our helicopter series heading east. As I mentioned, we already built out this playlist, so I'm picking songs from the playlist that match the mood board and the vibe that we're going for. And I also want to make sure that in the edit, we're including sounds that you would normally hear in a scenario where we are, and then also amplifying some of these moving camera transitions with whooshes and things like that, just to amplify that edit. We have the edit finished here, the sound design is done, it's all mixed, but we're just going to break it down. And I'm going to show you how some of these sound effects and diegetic sounds help bring the story across. So here's the edit.
And Saratoga traffic helicopter 300 Whiskey Zulu is departing from the Bravo.
After watching that, you can start to break down a couple of these little sound effects that we added, like the sound of the plane flying through the air, the sound of the helicopter firing up. So we're including those sounds in the video because if they were missing, you will feel a disconnect between the video and the audience watching it. They won't feel like they're there. There's elements missing. So including these sounds that would normally be in a video is really important in helping tell a story. If we scroll over this airplane clip, you can hear the airplane in the sky. So if that wasn't there, you don't get that essence of we're at an airport, we're hearing the airplane. So it's important to see what's in the clip and then add sound effects that match what's in your videos. When it comes to adding other types of sound effects, if you have whip pans, adding little whooshes to accentuate that transition can help. For instance, even like a time lapse, instead of no sound at all, we can add a little sound effect that sounds like this. So it sounds like the sky is kind of like going by really fast. If you have a point in your edit where you're doing a whip transition or transitioning from one clip to another in a bit of an interesting way, you can accentuate this with sound design or sound effects. So for example, we added a little whoosh in between here and that just accentuates the edit. That just adds a little bit of a different element that's not just the normal diegetic sounds that you're hearing, but it just adds a little something to the edit that makes it a little bit more interesting. We're gonna have a look at this edit really quickly with all of the sound effects turned off. It's just the music track paired with the visuals. I mean, it is a great track, but I like that track a lot. But you're missing that element. You're missing the firing up of the helicopter and hearing the airplane going across. So it really does make a difference having those sound effects included. When we're looking at reworking that old project, sometimes it's best to actually just strip all the music that you had out and kind of start fresh. So we're looking at our mood board, we kind of have our edit done, we're gonna look at it, and now we're gonna analyze what better music choices can I make for this edit? Where can I include diegetic sounds or sounds that we're hearing in the video clips? Trees rustling, airplanes flying by, footsteps. And then how can we mix that with a proper music track that evokes an emotion to just bring that edit to the next level? Don't be afraid to try a bunch of different tracks as well. Sometimes when you're listening to your playlist, you'll think like, oh my gosh, this is the song, it's so good. And then you pop it in your timeline and you play it back and you're like, oh, this doesn't match with the vibe of the edit at all. So don't be afraid to get rid of that track and try a couple of different ones to see what fits. I definitely recommend, if this is something that you're going to be doing often, to invest in a music subscription service. This is so important when you're doing commercial videos or even YouTube videos. You want to have a big library to choose from, a lot of options so you're not using the same songs all the time. Then you have options also to just pull different types of tracks for different kinds of stories. I have a number of different resources that I lean on heavily when it comes to making videos. In terms of music, MusicBed is one of my favorites. They have a lot of high quality tracks. Epidemic Sound is another one. They have a lot of really great chill hop music. They also include stems, so you can grab the instrumental, the melody, the drums, just from your chosen track. So you can use elements of different kinds of songs to help kind of build up a story. And they also include sound effects too, which is super helpful to have. As we mentioned, sound design is so important. So having that there as a little library moment is helpful. Premiumbeat.com is another one that I like to use if I'm doing commercial jobs for people where I need maybe a different style of music license that kind of covers me for a different variety of platforms. So that's another really great one. That's kind of three places that I lean on heavily: MusicBed, Epidemic Sound, and Premiumbeat.com. So we have our edit completed, the music is in, the sound design is in, we pretty much have a video. Now we really need to polish it off with color grading. So in the next lesson, we're gonna walk through color grading, a little bit of the basics of the Lumetri color panel, and then how to deal with log footage, which can be very confusing. So stay tuned for that. So I hope you guys enjoy that little sneak peek into what you're gonna get in this new Skillshare class, which I'm super excited about. If you wanna check it out and learn more, the link is in the description box. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can learn all sorts of new stuff and get little sneak peeks here and there of all the classes that Skillshare has to offer. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the class.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our latest videos.